Nope.
Hello, dear listener. Quick plug before this video begins. My book, The Nope Collection, is now officially available on Amazon. I will leave a link down below. If anyone has any questions on the book, just drop them in the comments and I will answer them. But other than that, enjoy the story. We were children. Idiot children. When we all decided to do it. My story begins with the discovery of a new internet ritual game, and what happened when my friends and I decided to play it. I was apprehensive at first, being only 12, and still afraid of the things that lurk in the dark. "Come on, it's not real," Jenna said, scoffing at my apprehension. "Yeah, it's just a stupid, scary game. They're all over the internet," Charlene added. Thomas was quiet. He was the youngest of the group and wasn't really fond of playing around with supposedly dark forces. Neither was I, to be fair, but peer pressure from the girls had made me cave and agree to play it. We'd already done Granny's Grave, The Midnight Game, and other classics, but this one seemed strange. For one, it randomly popped up in my emails, and at first I thought it was a chain letter. Upon reading, I realized it was one of those games. The message was titled, "The Key to Summoning the Jangling King," and the email came with instructions and words to recite. And though it was odd, the fool I am showed the girls the email, who immediately became eager to play it. The way to do it seemed easy enough. Everyone who wanted to play had to provide a key that was significant to themselves. Jenna brought her house key. Thomas brought the key to his room, and Charlene brought a key from her diary. I chose to use a key that was not mine, as I was frightened of the consequences. We each placed our keys into a bowl and filled the bowl with water. The instructions were clear. We had to leave the bowl in the middle of the room until around midnight. At this point, we lit a candle in hand and sat around the bowl. It was important that the lights be off. That was expressed in all bold. Then we recited the words, "Jangling King, we call to thee, my friends and I, my soul and me. Jangling King, this gift is yours. Thin the barrier, bend the laws." Charlene recited this, her voice filling the shadows of the room. "Jangling King, our will be done. Arise before us, wicked son. Jangling King, who knows so much. Our hearts true, our minds you touch." Jenna followed, her words causing the candles to flicker. "Jangling King, within your cell, we have the keys, we know the spell. Jangling King, your face affright, come to us this dark night." I spoke, my lips trembling as they uttered each word. "Jangling King, foul and near, we spoke the words, now appear," Thomas cried out. Nothing happened, of course. Sure, the room was filled with a tenseness, and there was a general unease, which Jenna then broke with a mocking roar. We all crashed and bounced around the room, scattering and frantically running out the door, having well and truly frightened ourselves. At least in that we had succeeded. However, we had no idea what we had unleashed upon ourselves. That night, while my friends slept over in my room, I had the most terrible dream. There was a darkened well in the middle of the woods, and within that well, I knew he dwelt. The nightmare of man. The Jangling and his shambling form crawled up the cylindrical stone prison. His rotting, long fingers, with chipped and ruinous keys in place of nails and tips, reached out and over the well. And as it did, I woke up, screaming. The others did too, and though none of us would speak of our dream, I knew in my heart that they too had seen it. The well and the Jangling King. We all looked at the bowl and found the keys were gone. The water that remained in the bowl was black and pungent. I don't know what death smells like, but I reckon the dark water in the bowl was close to its scent. "It's just a game, guys. Why are you all acting so skittish?" Charlene laughed. "Oh, I don't know. Maybe because we decided to perform some ritual and then this happens," I snapped back. "I told you I didn't want to play." "Guys, chill. It's just a game," Jenna said, attempting to remind us all of the obvious. Of course it was a game. But were we the ones that were playing it? Or were we being played? That was the question hanging in my mind. That was the last thing Jenna said to us. The last memory I have of my friend's voice. Because after leaving my house and returning to her own home, that's when he got her. They found her body drowned in a bathtub filled with stinking black water. Her mouth was apparently locked in a gaping scream. Her mother was the one that found her, and the sight was enough to leave her broken and unstable. I tried to tell the others that it was him, the Jangling King, and that he was coming for the rest of us. They didn't believe me. Or perhaps they did, and they were just too afraid to imagine that such a thing was true. Thomas was next. He disappeared on his way to school. They found him hanging in a tree, his mouth full of old, dirty keys. His eyes were bulging, bloodshot, and terrified. You might be wondering how I know this. Well, it's simple. Each night, when I closed my eyes, I dreamt of a shambling man, tall and hunched over, his rotting form skeletal, decayed, and dripping like a drowned corpse. And in each dream, I saw this man following in the wake of my friends. I knew that this nightmare man was the Jangling King, just from looking at the crown of ancient keys growing up from his scabby skull. I saw him grasp Jenna by the throat with his long fingers, each ending in a different and unusually designed key. He held her under the water, his mere presence turning it black and rotten as she screamed and thrashed until she thrashed no more. I also dreamed of Thomas, wandering through the woodland walk by our school. I watched as he turned around, nervously scanning the area as the sound of tinkling keys chimed around him. Then he appeared, hunched over, emaciated and green-skinned. He sneaked and crept, stalking Thomas's wake like a hungry jaguar. The tinkling sound came from the keys wrapped around the ends of the long, white and gray wisps of the hair that flung off the back of his head. I witnessed Thomas turn and see the fiend following. When he tried to run, he turned and saw that the king was now in front of him. In an instant, he was swept up by the corroded, crusted claws of the Jangling King. I tried to warn Charlene that I had dreamt of her too, that in my dreams I saw her on the phone talking to someone. Then the door to her house would open and he would appear in her hallway, with each light exploding, showering him in sparks. The room would be filled with darkness and the sound of jangling keys. I warned her if she tried to flee through the back door, it would lock itself and he would get her. I told her what would happen, that he would drag her by her hair into the darkness, her screams howling in the night. I said where he took her and what he did would remain a mystery and that she would never be found. She did not listen, and now she's gone. Missing, apparently. But I know better. I know the Jangling King, with his cadaverous eye craters and lipless sneer, has taken her. Taken them all. I don't know what he is. A foul spirit. A wicked story given life. A demon. Or a monster. All I know is he is real. And that he has my friends. Deep beneath the world. Beyond the veil. He has taken them. Taken them to the woods between and dragged them down into his well. I still dream of the dark, of the well, and the echoes of screams and jangling keys. If you're wondering how I survived, how I escaped his wrath, then allow me to explain. You see, when the others all placed keys significant to themselves in the bowl, I didn't. The key I placed within the bowl was not mine. It belonged to a neighbor. She was on holiday and had left it with my mom, so she could check up on the house every now and then. The thing is, my neighbor has yet to come back from her holiday, and I can't help but wonder if I'll dream of her next. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this week's story. If you did, you know what to do. Take that like button and just drown it in the bathtub. Hell, maybe even hang it from a tree. Of course, make sure you stuff its mouth full of keys first. That's the best way to do that. Shout out to the author of this story, Reddit user Something Wicked TWC. I will leave links down below to check out more of their stories if you are interested. And guys, like I mentioned at the start of this video, my book is now available on Amazon, and until October 11th, all proceeds will be donated to charity. More information on the charity down below, as well as the Amazon links. So if you're interested, link down below in the description, and buy before October 11th if you want to donate to a very, very worthy cause. If you have any questions, let me know. But until next time, everybody, remember to stay safe out there. I'll be seeing you in the next video.